Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the next game in the 1989 Fall Classic season. It's not a full season replay. I'm just playing a few of the 1989 Open Day games to get my feet wet in the game and try to learn. The first couple times I've done it, those were on recorded videos, but tonight I want to do a live video. That way I can get instant feedback on mistakes I make and possibly help me learn it a little bit better. That's what the hope is. Anyway, let me double check and see if or how this is looking on the computer so I can see what you guys are seeing. Oh, gotta take the volume off first of all. Okay. Bear with me, folks. Okay. So, let's move that out of the way. So it looks like everything is showing up pretty well. I could probably get a little closer, to be honest with you. Let me see if I can move this down just a hair. I had it up when I was recording because it doesn't capture quite as much generally, but I'm hoping now that maybe moving it further down will help. Let's see if that's the case. This is a work in progress because I haven't done a live video in this setup before, so not 100% sure it's going to work well, but we'll see. Brian, no, unfortunately, it was taken over by APA, unfortunately, and it looks like for whatever reason the stadium looks like everything looks like it's tilted. So maybe my phone is tilted. Maybe that's what the problem is. Let's try that. Or did that make it worse? That might have made it worse. Let's try this way. See if I can get it back on track here. Okay, I think that's better. I think I have my phone tilted for some strange reason, which I don't have any clue as to why. All right, but I did learn something in the previous video, at least one thing in particular, and that was the exotic error chart. So I will have the exotic error chart. I did print that out. So if we get an exotic error coming up again, then I'll have it in front of me. Obviously, we have the team defensive sheets. I've got those in front of me. And the starting pitchers for today's game from Shea Stadium, it is Dwight Gooden, the right-hander, against Joe Magrane, the lefty. And hey, Doug, yeah, I hadn't planned on doing a live video tonight, but RJL told me he was taking a break for his All-Star break, which I did not know. Had I known that, I would have uploaded the game I did at lunchtime tonight. But I figured a live version is good for me because, in this instance, because for the people who know how to really play Fall Classic, I can get instant feedback on any error I make as far as what chart to go to or what rule to make or whatever. So if I get into the problems with the fielding and the base running and so forth, hopefully I've got instant feedback by doing a live video. So this game was played April 9th, 1989. You see the lineups, the benches, and the bullpens for both teams, and the line score, and we've got our pitchers here. And of course, the first thing we're going to do is bullpen sessions for both teams. I typically start with the home team, and we'll figure out whether they're A grades, B grades, or C grades. So the first one we'll go to is the doctor, Dwight Gooden. We'll see what kind of stuff he comes up with. It's a 2, so he is on his A game. So Dwight Gooden is going to have his A game tonight, or today. I guess it was a day game. And Joe Magrane is 13. He's his B grade. So Magrane is going to be average. Dwight Gooden is going to be on his A game. So we'll see if that factors into it. I do have the New York Met colored dice right here available. I'm hoping everything looks okay. I've got the fast action cards right here where my hand is, right here. And I will flip them right in this little pocket right here. So hopefully you can see those fairly well. And we'll get the pitchers where they need to be and the position players where they need to be. Of course, I'm using one of the from Play.com, the History Maker baseball fields, which I think turned out pretty well for this game. I can put the lineups right where they need to be. kind of up, pitcher facing that lineup, and this pitcher facing this lineup. So we know Magrane is on his B grades, and Dwight Gooden's on his A grades. So Magrane with the B, Gooden with the A. All right, so A grade against B grade is what we're looking at. Ken Daly is in the bullpen, so he's one of the few lefties, him and DePino. One of the interesting things in this game is that Sid Fernandez, normally a starter, in the first part of the season, they used him out of the pen, so he is their second lefty out of the bullpen. He's normally a starter, but I did look it up. He doesn't have any starts the first couple of games, week or so of the season. He's in the bullpen, so that's why he's there. Of course, we are at Shea Stadium, so whenever a ballpark card is needed, we will have that. And I think everything is about where I need it. I don't know what else I might be missing. I think I got everything. I do have the hit and run chart, the bunt chart, the exotic error chart, and everything else is fast action cards and defensive charts. So hopefully that covers the gamut of what I need. I'm hoping that it does. All right, so leading things off will be the very fast Vince Coleman. Ironically, he's only given fast. He's not given that fast fast exclamation point the way that one of the other Cardinals is given that. I think it's Milt Thompson or someone like that that's given that F exclamation point. Yeah, Milt Thompson was given the F exclamation point, and Vince Coleman's only given an F. So that's kind of unusual, but hey, that's the way they rate the game. I don't know enough about the game to question ratings, so I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to play it, and it's my attempt to try to enjoy the game. My goal in 2024 is to learn 2 new games. This is one of them. A second one's coming down the road. And the other thing is to have more fun and not be so stringent, worrying about left-right splits, worrying about as-played lineups, and that sort of thing. So that's my goal for 2024. Is to have fun and to learn 2 new games. This is one of them. Second one will be coming later, and those are both going to be in the interim before Stratomatic gets here in April, and actually the playthrough game will be in March. But so I've got about 4 or 5 weeks to learn this game and the other game, and I'll put some of those on video as well. Hello, Mr. RJL. How are you? You'll be happy to know, RJL, that Dwight Gooden got his A grades. He got a 1 through 6, so he is going to be using his A grades, and Mr. Magrane Headache is going to be using his B grades. So hopefully everything looks okay. It looks the best I can do with what I have to work with. So that's what I've got. I do, of course, have New York Met color dice. Got the score sheet right here, ready to go. Mets won this game in real life 8-4 over the Cardinals as they try to repeat history. All right, so we're ready to go. Dwight Gooden on his A grades is ready to go. Got the exotic error chart. I've got the hit and run chart, the bunt chart, and the fielding charts all ready to go. So hopefully I won't run into any snags, but if I do, the fact that it's live, maybe I can get instant feedback and not have to muddle over everything. So Dwight Gooden to Vince Coleman. We're underway from Che. 55 for Vince Coleman. That's a 1-4 double. And anything else is a single. That's an 8. It's a single for Vince Coleman, and there's a plus, which means he's going to get the chance to get the jump. So Coleman steals second base, or not steal second base. He's going to get the attempt to steal second base. Gary Carter's arm is an average arm. So that's not going to take away anything from Vince Coleman's attempt of 17 or success rate of 17. So it's a 1-17 to steal it. And he does. So Vince Coleman with the stolen base. Now, I thought there was also something on the stolen base. I don't have it in front of me, I don't think. About, let's see here. Yeah, I do. It says if the D20 is from 1 to 5, refer the catcher's E rating. And if equal or less than that, it's a steal and an extra base on the bad throw. So the catcher's E rating, let's look at Gary Carter's E rating. Gary Carter's E rating is only a 1. So this is not, the 4 was not greater than the 1. So there is not going to be Hello, Mr. Phoenix Knight. How are you doing? I'm not sure. I know RJL is kind of busy. His daughter's in town, so I don't really expect him to be on the live chat. But it's good to have you here, and I'm glad you're. It's good to see you playing some sports games. So hopefully I did that right. So, his E-rating's only a 1. That's a 4. So there's not. I don't have it as a throwing error into center field. It's simply going to be a stolen base, and Cardinals might have something cooking here in the top of the first. So the single and the steal for Vince Coleman, and he's doing what Vince Coleman does. And here's Willie McGee. 20. Boy, these doubles are getting them, but that's an out. So 22 is an out. It's a fly to center. Runner on second can go to third with a run with risk, but he's already in scoring position, so they're not gonna do any kind of risk. They're just gonna go ahead and it's gonna be a fly to center, one away. No sense risking it. I mean, he's going to score almost automatically on a single anyway, so he's already in scoring position. Why take the chance? So here's Pendleton. Gooden, 32, and in his A grade, 32 is an out. See what kind of an out? It is a fly out to left, and everybody's got a hold, so that's 2 down. 2 down. Maybe I should have been aggressive on that first out because it would have been a sac fly had he gotten the third. So maybe that was my mistake there, not being aggressive enough, but didn't want to run out of an inning so early. But Pedro Guerrero is going to knock him in anyway, so he's going to make up for all of this probably. 44, he certainly does. That's a single right on cue. Single right on cue. Base hit is to right field. Runner on second scores if weak arm or 2 outs. So it's 2 outs, so he's going to score. And Pedro Guerrero bails me out with a 2-out single to right field. And the Cardinals lead it 1-0 off of the doctor. And is already rigging chance coming from section 518. I can feel it. All right, so Guerrero gets the single. 2-out single, and that brings up Tom Brunansky. And roll a lot of doubles here lately. 63, that's not a double, so in fact, that's a strikeout. Tom Brunansky out on strikes to end the inning. But for the Cardinals, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the first at Shea. It's the Cardinals 1, and the Mets coming to bat against Joe Magrane. So Joe Magrane will be on there and I like to clear these out in between innings. Clear out the fast action cards so they don't get confused with the previous inning or whatever. It's like a clean slate right here. Just maybe a little OCD, I don't know. But anyway, now we're ready to go. Mookie Wilson will lead it off. He's playing against the lefty. They benched Dykstra against the lefty and using Mookie Wilson. 32 for Mookie, and that is a out. It's got no X. It means he doesn't hit into very many double plays, obviously, because they're taking a lot of that away. Of course, there's nobody out that's not in play. 32 is no X there. So 32 is going to be an out, and it's got a G. Now, there is an out G, and I thought I read somewhere saying that's an automatic ground out, but I don't have it in front of me to know for sure. It might even be an optional rule. Not 100% sure on that. I'm going to go ahead and flip the fast action card because I'm not really keeping track of defense or anything like that. So it's going to be, it's a ground out anyway. So it's a ground out to second. So Mookie Wilson grounds out to second. I think there's something in the rules about that, but it's a minor thing that really doesn't affect anything. So I'm not really too much worried about it. Here's Greg Jeffries. 26, that's the left-right split. Since he's a switch hitter, he gets the automatic hit. So Greg Jeffries, and I'll circle it as a left-right split hit. See how many times that left-right split is factored into the game. So Jeffries with a 1-out single, and that'll bring up Keith Hernandez, who's in the Hall of Very Good. Magrane, 13, and that's an out X. That means if it's a ground ball out, there will be a double play because the runner's at first, but it has to be a ground ball. And it is. It's a ground ball to first, so that's going to be a 3-6-3 double play. We don't worry about what's going on here. It says runner to second, 3 unassisted, but since that's an X, that overrides that, and that's a 3-6-3 double play for the propensity of Keith Hernandez to hit in the double plays. That's how it gets factored in. No runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left thanks to the double play. After one inning of play at Shea, it is the Cardinals 1 and the Mets nothing. So Hernandez, the rally killer on that one. And we go to the top of the second with Jose Oquendo. Swiss Army knife. Jose Oquendo played first, second, and short. In some years, he's also played every position but catcher, pretty much. So here's Oquendo against Gooden. 51. That's a KD check. That's a 10. He's only a 5, so we'll go to the KD for a 51. And that's going to be an error possibility on the third baseman. Third baseman error check. Third baseman's Howard Johnson. And if you know anything about the Mets, Howard Johnson is not exactly Brooks Robinson over there at third base. So we'll take a look. Third base, Howard Johnson. His error range is only a 9, and that's a 10. So he will make the play. I have to eat my words. He will make that play. How about that? Fights the tough hop and makes the play and throws Oquendo out, one away. So Howard Johnson gets it done. That will bring up Tony Pena. 15, that's an out. And it will be a ground ball to third. So again, Howard Johnson, this time much easier play. And all of a sudden it's 2 up and 2 down, go the Cardinals. And that'll bring up second baseman Tim Jones. Gooden 11 on Tim Jones. 1's a double, 2 to 8's a single, anything else is a walk. That's a 14. And interestingly enough, he gets the plus on a single, but does not get it on the double or the walk. So Tim Jones will walk, but he does not get the plus sign to get a steal. But it will be a 2-out walk. And that's kind of important because what that's going to do is let Joe Magrane, they're going to clear him this inning. He's going to bat, and they get to lead off with Coleman next inning, assuming Magrane makes an out. Hello, Mr. Larry Harris. How are you doing? Joe Magrane, 62, and that's going to be a strikeout. So even though he struck him out, it clears him so that Vince Coleman can lead off the next inning. So very big deal there that Tim Jones walked to clear that order. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the second, still 1-0 St. Louis. And due up for the Mets, it'll be Mr. Strawberry. Strawberry will get the leadoff chance. As soon as we get Jones off the bases. So Strawberry will lead it off against Joe Magrane. Lefty on lefty matchup. 24, that is a hit by pitch on a 1, but that's a 17, so he is out. It's a fly to center. Put away out there by the center fielder McGee. And there's one away. So that'll bring up Kevin McReynolds. Solid year in 89. 63, and Magrane on his B grades, that's an out. So it will be another fly to center. So Willie McGee is there again. 2 up and 2 down go the Mets. And here comes the aged one, Gary Carter, on his last leg in 1989. Probably should have retired in 87 or 88, but 11, and he is out. And that's going to be a ground ball to third. So handled by Pendleton. 3 up and 3 down go the Metropolitans. We go to the third, still 1-0. Favor of the Cardinals, but if you remember the game from this afternoon, the Reds had a 1-0 lead for 5 innings, and you saw what happened. So 1-0 lead, as they say in the slang terms, don't mean nothing. So Cardinals are up now with Vince Coleman. He single, stole second, and scored. Not much else you can ask of for a. Yeah, I think Ozzie was on the DL there. I don't have the dates in front of me, but he was not on the active roster. That I know for sure. All right, so Vince Coleman did everything a leadoff man's supposed to do. He singled, stole second, and scored. So he's going to try it again against the Doctor. 52, and that's a KD. That's a 2, though, so he's a 1-5, so Coleman will take a seat. Coleman will take a seat for out number 1 as the Doctor gets the strikeout, his third of the game. And that's going to bring up me and Willie McGee. 52, another one, but that's a 16. That's way above his KD rate, so we will go to the 52 chart. And 52 says error chance on the second baseman. It's a possible two-base error. Second baseman is Jeffries. The D20 is a 16, so you hope Jeffries is better than that. We'll see. Jeffries' error rating is only a 5. That's a 16, so easy play for Jeffries. He makes it no issue. 2 down. And that will bring up Terry Pendleton. Gooden, 54. We go to the 54 chart. Since I have these face up this way, what I usually do is flip one over and use the next one in line. So we're going over here to the bases empty. And it says go to the Wilder chart. New card. Okay. So we go to the Wilder chart. The Wilder chart with the bases empty. Foul pop-up behind the plate. Catcher fighting it. Roll versus E rating to see if he drops it. Batter gets another chance on the E2, or if he catches it with a pop-out. So we're going to roll versus error rating of Gary Carter. That's the play right there for Wilder bases empty. So we're going to roll against the error rating of Gary Carter. Gary Carter's error rating is just a 1. So we got to roll a 1 for him to make an error. Otherwise, he will make this catch. And he does. So Gary Carter, no problems whatsoever, makes the catch in foul territory. And that's going to end the inning. 3 up and 3 down go the Cards here in the third. We go to the bottom of the third. Still 1-0 favor of St. Louis. But there are a lot of baseball still left to be played. And leading off for the Mets, it'll be Hojo, Howard Johnson. 61, and that's a blank on the batter. Go to Magrane. 61, a 1-16 is a strikeout. That's a 4. So Hojo will whiff. Magrane gets his first strikeout of the game. Since that D20 was within the 1-16 range, on that 61, he gets the strikeout. Here's Kevin Elster. 65, home run off the pitcher card. Magrane's home run rating. Where is his home run rating? Why am I? Oh, it's only a 1-2. He did not give up many home runs. That's a 9, so there's no home run there. It will be a fly out to center field by default. When the home run fails, you default to an F8, and that's 2 down. So Magrane does not give up very many home runs. That'll bring up Dwight Gooden. He was a 200 hitter, 8 out of 40. Did have a run driven in. 23, and that is a strikeout on Gooden's card to end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down go the Mets. We played 3 at Shea. Score still 1-0 Cardinals. As the game this afternoon was a pitching duel for a while, for most of the game, and this one's starting the same way. Don't know if it's the rolls that are happening, making it do that, or the season, or the engine, or what. Like I said, I haven't played this game enough to know. This is only my 3rd game on video, and probably 6th game overall, so usually got to play a game for quite a while to get the feel of it, to know the idiosyncrasies on it. I do know I am enjoying the game more than I thought I would, and the reason I'm playing it so much now is to try to learn the game, and I figure the best way to learn it is to force feed it to myself and get feedback so that I can learn these rules. So I won't be playing Fall Classic forever. It's just, this is a temporary thing, and then my second new game will be coming out shortly to play that. So I'll do that for a while after I do this. So, all right, Dwight Gooden to Guerrero. That's 24, and that's a hit by pitch on a 1-4. Hit by pitch rating on the Gooden is a 0, so that didn't change. And 14, that's out of range, so it will be an out. So Guerrero ends up grounding to third. Hojo is there for the play. 1 down. See, in the video this morning, I forgot to use the adjusted rating of the pitcher's hit by pitch when the hit by pitch was checked on the batter. I just remembered it at the last minute, so trying to get these things to where they're coming second nature, but it's going to take a while. Brunansky, 12. That is an out on Brunansky's card. It's a fly to right field, and Strawberry will put it away for 2 down. So Gooden seems to have settled in since that first inning. And here's Oquendo. Jose Oquendo stick. 15 is an out, and that will be, he's a switch hitter batting left, so that's going to be a ground ball to second, and Jeffries will put it away. 3 up and 3 down. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Still 1-0 favor of the Cardinals, rather. Haven't had any base runners lately. Both pitchers have been on top of their game in the last couple of innings. See if that continues. Mookie Wilson, we're back to the top of the order for the Mets. Mookie Wilson leads it off. Hello, Jeremy. How are you doing? Happy Friday to you and everyone else, in case I missed you. Hit by pitch on a 1 to 3. His hit by pitch factor is a +1, so it goes to a 1 to 4, but that's an 8, so that fails. So that means he's going to be out. And Mookie's going to be out. He's batting right-handed as a switch hitter, so he's going to ground to short. And the shortstop, Jose Oquendo, makes the play. So 1 away, and that's going to send us to Greg Jeffries. 31 for Jeffries is a blank. We go up to Magrane. That's a single. So Greg Jeffries gets a single. Now, he got a single his last time up. He's 2 for 2. But Keith Hernandez hit into a double play his last following that. So we'll see if Keith Hernandez can avoid a double play this time. Hello, Alex. How are you doing? Alex M. Good to see you. Magrane, 23 to Hernandez is a straight-up strikeout, so at least he didn't hit into a double play. So there's 2 down for Strawberry. Flew to center his first chance. 61, and that's going to be a 1 to 16 strikeout. That's an 11, so Strawman will take the K, and that's going to end the inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the 5th. Still 1-0 Cardinals here from Shea Stadium, as Joe Magrane is giving the Mets a headache right now. All right. Okay, Tony Pena. Hello, Bart. How are you doing? So far, Bart, I'm enjoying it. It's probably because it's new. Now, maybe when the new car shine wears off, I'll know more for sure. But right now, I do enjoy the idiosyncrasies in the game. The lack of left-right splits hasn't really entered my mind lately. Like I said, I'm trying to. If you remember the movie The Matrix, for anybody that remember the movie The Matrix, there was a scene in there early on where Neo had just taken the blue pill or whatever, and they were going through the training simulator. Hello, Dan. How you doing? Glad you can make it. Please let me know if I make a mistake, Stan. Please, I appreciate it. You're not a pain. It's the kind of pain I want because I want to know what I'm doing. But anyway, back to the Matrix. There was a scene where he had to jump over a wide gap to go from the top of one building to the other. And the phrase that Lawrence Fishburne gave him was, free your mind. Free your mind. So that's what I'm trying to do in 2024 rather, is free my mind. I'm trying to free my mind from left-right splits, being so anal about left-right splits. I'm trying to free my mind to try new games. So hopefully, that'll come to fruition. We shall see. Hello, G-Puck. Thank you so much. I'm learning. I'm trying to learn best I can. So I'm doing what I can when I can. So anyway, Dan, I did print out, since you came in late, I did print out the exotic error chart. So I am ready for, in case I get an exotic error, I am ready for that. So we're good to go on that one. And I did, you've had 2 hit by pitch possibilities. I did remember to check the pitcher adjustment on hit by pitches. So that's 2 things I've gotten straight. Now, if I get into, a fielding thing with runners on base, then I might, have some issues, but we'll see. All right, right now we're in the top of the 5th, starting the top of the 5th. It's 1-0 Cardinals. Cardinals got a run in the first on a Coleman single. He stole second and scored on a 2-out single by Guerrero, and that's all they've gotten off of Dwight Gooden. Gooden has retired everybody since then. Gooden on his A game. 11 is a walk on a 1-6, but that's a 15, which means it will be an out. And Mr. Pena will ground to short. Kevin Elster right there waiting for it. Throws to Hernandez, one away for Tim Jones. I don't know about that, Dan. It's a long, hard road to get that going. I want to look up something real quick on Retro Sheet to see when Ozzie Smith joined the team, because it looks like he started the season on the disabled list. He must have, because he's not on the roster, so he must have started the season on the disabled list. So I will check it out real quick. St. Louis Cardinals, Ozzie Smith, get his game log for 89. Yeah, he started April 15th, so he was like a week late, basically. So he did join the roster on the 15th, so he must have started the season off in spring training with a little dinged up nick or something. Either that or a contract dispute, one or the other, because he doesn't join the team until the 15th. No, I wouldn't say that. RJL. It's just the flavor of the month right now, and it's just something I want to learn, and I'm excited. It's like I said, it's got the new car smell right now. So, all right, here is Tim Jones. 26. That's a left-right split. He is a lefty. Gooden's a righty. So Tim Jones gets himself a single. Now, normally I'd want to bunt here with the pitcher up, but it's already one out, so it's almost seems to be counterintuitive to do that. I mean, I guess I could anyway if I really wanted to, but I just don't know. He does have a good sacrifice hit rating. Well, you know what? I'm going to bunt just so I can practice the bunt. If nothing else, I'm going to do it just to practice the bunt to make sure I get it right. Now, if I understand correctly, on a bunt play, you roll 1d6 to see if he gets the bunt down, and that's based on his sacrifice hit rating. So we're going to roll 1d6, and that's a 1, so he gets the bunt down. Now, if I'm read it correctly as well, the 1 on this first roll means the bunt goes to the pitcher. So if I'm doing this right, the bunt goes to the pitcher, and if you roll a 1 to 5 again, it's a successful bunt. And we do. So I'm assuming I did that right. So 1 to 5, I don't see anything on there about reducing his bunt rating if the corners are in or any of that stuff. I don't see that anything in the rules on that. So I'm going straight by what his bunt rating was, which sacrifice hit rating was, which is a 5. So Magrane gets the bunt down. There are now 2 outs. All right, thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. Now, I believe if I rolled a 6, there's like a pop-up possible double play or something. I do have the bunt chart printed out, so I could go look at it if I had to. But all right, here's Dwight Gooden against Vince Coleman. 22 for Coleman, a walk on a 1-17. That's an 18, though. He just missed it. It's going to be a strikeout. Wow, what a turn of events that was. Potential walk turns into a strikeout to end the inning. How about that? And on that bunt, we're going to say it's a 1-4 put out with Jeffries covering first on the bunt to Gooden. So no runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the 5th, still 1-0. Favor of the Redbirds. And again, just like the game from this afternoon, the offenses are stagnant at the moment. Of course, on opening day, yes, I've got these right here. Suicide Squeed runners with run with what is it called? Oh, here we go. Bunting right here. There we go. Bunting right here. If two rolls a 6, then it's a pop up. Roll again. If it's a roll is a 2, then the lead runner is also out. Double play. So yeah, I do have these little charts that came with the facts. So I do have those. Yes, sir, I do. Okay. So now, bottom of the 5th, Kevin McReynolds will be the leadoff batter. He flew to center his first chance. Joe Magrane's only given up 2 hits. They were both by Greg Jeffries. He's the only one that's been able to figure him out. McReynolds, 31, though. That'll do it again because on this pitcher card, 31 is going to be a base hit. So Kevin McReynolds, leadoff single, and maybe the Mets are in business. We shall see. It's up to the aged one, Gary Carter. See if he can help him out. You know, Dan, I thought about making like a little cheat sheet for myself just on my own, taking some of the things that I'm not the most comfortable with and putting them all on one page. And I may still do that, but definitely these cards are definitely going to do that for me. Carter, 26 is a left-right split. He's going to get the hit off the left-right split. And anytime you get a hit off 26, it's a two-base advancement. You don't need to move or check a card or anything. It is a two-base hit. Two-base hit. That's the way it is in replay baseball. When you get that left-right split, it's a two-base advance. So Carter comes up with a base hit, and the Mets have something definitely cooking. Runners at the corners and nobody out. Cardinals are playing back for the double play. Hello, Mr. Gardner. How are you? Cardinals are playing back for the double play because they don't want a big inning. They'll give up a tying run if they can get 2 outs. Here's Hojo. 62 on Hojo, and that's going to be an out. We'll see what kind of out it is. It is going to be a ground ball to short. All right, the infield is back, remember. Ground ball to short with runners at the corners. Topper, runners advance. So the only play was the first base because it's like a Baltimore chop. So the only play that the shortstop Okendo had was to first base to throw out Howard Johnson. Runners advance, which means McReynolds scores and Carter goes to second. That's per the fast action card. So it's going to go down as a 6-3 ground out, RBI ground out for Hojo. McReynolds scores and Carter goes to second base. We're tied at 1 here in the bottom of the 5th. And section 518, I can't do it the way RGL does it, so I won't even try. They give a golf clap. How about that? There's Kevin Elster. Oops, Suadice. As soon as I mention RJL, I do a Suadice. That can't be a coincidence. 55 for Elster. 1 to 12 is a double. That's an 8. It's an RBI double for Kevin Elster. And all of a sudden, the Mets have taken a 2-1 lead. And this may be rigged. I don't know. Because the Mets should not be winning this game. Although they did win the game in real life 8-4. So maybe I misspoke there. But anyway, the Mets now lead at 2-1 on the double by Kevin Elster. So the Appa-like doubles are coming up and causing the Mets to take the lead. Here's Dwight Gooden. He's going to swing away. Elster's already in scoring position. No use of bunting. 42, and that's a straight up out on Gooden's card. And that's a fly to center. Elster, let's see, it's the second, third, all advance. So Elster will advance. It's deep enough to score, to move him to third base on that fly to center by Gooden. So at least a semi-productive out. Out number 2. And Mookie Wilson has a chance to add to the lead with Elster perched at third base and 2 outs. 11, but that's an out. I'm thinking Appa 11 would be good, but not here. 11 is an out. And that's going to be a Mookie Wilson switch here batting right-handed. It's a ground ball to third. Pendleton will throw to first to end the inning. But the Mets take the lead. They do it. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We played 5 at Shea Stadium, and all of a sudden, it is now the Mets 2 and the Cardinals 1. So probably something wrong with the game engine to have the Mets winning like this, but I don't know. But the offenses at least are picking it up just a tad. But again, you're facing the so-called aces of both staffs, so opening day should be a little lower scoring, you would think. All right. Gooden facing McGee. Gooden can face 29 batters. He's only faced 18, so he's only faced 19, so he's definitely good to go. A couple more innings. McGee is 0 for 2. 66, that's a straight-up double for Willie McGee, and back comes the Appa-like doubles, or, double sixes. Fortunately for Gooden, it wasn't a home run. It was simply a double, but a leadoff double for Willie McGee. Tying run is in scoring position for Terry Pendleton. 35 for Pendleton against Gooden is going to be an out. And it's going to be a fly to left with the runner on second holding. Not deep enough to move up. One away. And that'll bring up Guerrero. He had an RBI single in the first. He's trying to do the same thing again. 52, that's a 14. It's above his KD rate, so we'll go to the 52 chart. And the 52 chart says we're looking at a left fielder exotic chart. So we're going to the exotic chart. My first time doing this, so bear with me. I'm hoping to get it right. Going to the exotic chart for a left fielder, and then also, well, it says outfield. It just says outfield here. It doesn't say left, right, or center. It's got one exotic error for all the outfielders. So it's an outfielder check. Let's see here. And it says on this, roll D20 again, and I guess that will tell me where we're going. So, Dan, I'm hoping that's right. So we're going to roll the D20 again and check this exotic error. We get a 9. So that's going to put it right here. Single plus error, batter safe at second, runner advances to second. But who is the error on is the question. Did we say who the error was going to be on? Left fielder. Okay, yep, left fielder exotic chart. So the error is on the left fielder McReynolds. It's going to be a single plus an error on McReynolds that will score McGee to tie the game. And I'm hoping I'm doing that right, Dan. Hopefully I'm doing it right. That's going to be a single to tie the game. And Guerrero will take second on the E7 by McReynolds. So he's in scoring position also. And that'll bring up Tom Brunansky with the score tied at 2. So a single plus the E7. First error of the game on either team. McGee scores. We're tied at 2, but the Cardinals looking for more. Gooden facing Brunansky. 55, the doubles are coming up again. 1 to 18 is another double. That's a 3. We've got another double. Brunansky will double home Guerrero, and the Cardinals lead it 3 to 2. This game is accurate now, isn't it? It is getting to be accurate all of a sudden. I've changed my mind. The accuracy of this game is really doing well, as Dwight Gooden is starting to get shelled, as he should be. So it's a double, RBI double, 3 to 2 Cardinals. Still only one out. They're looking for more. Here's Oquendo. 53, that's an 8. It's more than the KD, so we go to the 53, which is a range check. And we're looking at the infield first base single, 1 star, which I imagine if the range fails, it's a 1 star, means a 1 base advancement, Dan. I'm guessing that's what that means, since it's 1 star there. But we're checking the range of Keith Hernandez, and you know Keith Hernandez, as old as he is, can't get around very much, so let's see what happens here. The range of Keith Hernandez is a 10. Fortunately for Keith Hernandez, that's an 8. So what do you know? What do you know about that? Let's see here. You said there's a legend on the defensive chart. A legend on the defensive chart. Talking about maybe that's ballpark down there. I'm not sure where that is on here. I don't see that. The play was made. Oh, not the team chart. You're talking about the charts for defense. So I really need to print out the defensive charts then. The out charts is what you're telling me. Okay, so I really need to print those out and have those handy. So basically the fast action cards can't handle that either. I'm going to need to print that off as well. Fortunately, the play was made, the ball went to first, so logically I would think Brunansky would just go to third and there'd be 2 outs. I'm just going to say for aesthetics that Hernandez flipped to Gooden covering for out number 2. And Brunansky takes third. Yeah, I'm going to have to print out the defensive chart, the out chart, whatever you want to call it. So apparently I'm going to need more charts than I thought I was going to need, because certain things reference that. But that's okay. They don't have to be referenced very much. Great. That sounds perfect. I need to print that out then. So I will do that for next time. All right. So Tony Peña's up with 2 outs and a runner at third now. Cardinals lead at 3-2. 14. That's an out on Peña's card, and it will be a fly out to left to end the inning. But damage done. And I don't know if the run was earned, that second run was earned or not, because that error by McReynolds put Guerrero at second, but the following was a double, so he may have scored anyway. But I'm not sure on the chart whether he would have or not. Let's see. I don't know if I have that double check on here. I don't think I do in front of me, so it really doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm not that anal on stats in this game, not for this particular game. For the Cardinals, though, they got two runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and left 1 on base. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. The Cardinals have reclaimed the lead 3-2. And Dwight Gooden, not a happy man right now. So that'll bring up Magrane back out with the lead. He can face 32 batters. He's only faced 19, so he's definitely in good shape. Greg Jeffries, he hasn't figured Jeffries out yet. Jeffries is 2 for 2. 31 is going to be 3 for 3 because that 31 is going to give him that single. So Jeffries for the third time gets the base hit. How do you like that? 3 for 3 for Greg Jeffries. Go figure. All right, that'll bring up Keith Hernandez. 21 for Hernandez. He straight strikeout, struck him out. Second time in a row, Hernandez has struck out. Not a good day for Hernandez. He's hit into a double play and struck out twice. 0 for 3. Here's a Straw trying to get his team back in the game. 35, and that's going to be a wild pitch single. Okay. So the wild pitch rating on his card is a 1-18. So that's an 8 right there. So, Dan, I might need your help on this one, too. It says WPSNG. Since it's a wild pitch, I'm assuming it overrides the single and we re-roll because it is a wild pitch. His wild pitch rating's 18. That's an 8. So I'm assuming that means it's a wild pitch. Jeffries advances. I'm assuming it doesn't mean that there's also a single right behind it. I'm assuming we re-roll. Oh, it's both. Okay, so it is a wild pitch and then a single. So it's a single for Strawberry, and now I got to see if Jeffries can score from second base. He was on third. He was on second with the wild pitch, and now it's a single. Flip the card and see what happens on the single. Fast advances, slow or average holds. With 2 outs, you have an assist, but there's nobody out. So Jeffries, is he fast? Jeffries is average. So Jeffries has to hold at third base. All right, so Strawberry with the base hit. Actually, there's 1 out, not 2 outs. Or not no outs, there's 1 out here. So runners are on the corners with 1 out, and Kevin McReynolds is your batter. Thank you for that, Dan. I wasn't sure exactly how to play that, so that's good to know. Hello, Matt. How are you doing? Runners on the corners, 1 out. Infield's looking for the double play on Kevin McReynolds. Grain trying to induce that double play, but he got induced a 33 instead. That's a single. That's going to score Jeffries to tie the game. We'll see what Strawberry does on his running, courtesy of the fast action card. First to third, fast advances. Others can risk. Strawberry is average, so he's not fast. He has to hold at second base. That means the plus that is there will not allow a stolen base chance for McReynolds because Strawberry is in front of him. So that plus sign is null and void. But what's not null and void is an RBI single to tie the game. Mets have tied the game at 3 apiece. And that brings up the aged one, Gary Carter. Definitely got a lot of X chances here for double plays. Magrane is counting on that. Oh, you're saying when it says WP single, it's no roll for it, it's automatic. Okay, that's good to know. Fortunately, I got it right anyway because his wild pitch rating was so high, which is probably why they had it on that card. So, okay, if I see that again, it's automatic. I don't have to roll for it. I'll put that in the back of my mind also. All right. Magrane, 30. Boy, he's getting killed with these doubles, but 33 is an out because Carter's so bad. And the out's going to be a fly to center. Slow runner holds, but Strawberry's average. He will go to third on that fly to center. But there's 2 outs now. 2 outs. And that'll be up to Hojo to break the tie. Magrane, 43 on Magrane is an out. So we'll get out of the inning on a pop-up to short. Kendo is there to end the inning, but the Mets tie it, courtesy of an RBI single from Kevin McReynolds. So the Mets 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We played 6 at Shea Stadium, and nothing's been decided. We are tied at 3. So knock on wood, at least the first couple games I played at least have been close. Don't like blowouts, so it's nicer to have closer games. And we go to the 7th inning. The score tied at 3. Due up for the Cardinals, it'll be Jones, followed by Magrane. They may pinch hit for Magrane because he's given them 6 innings, but they might need some offense. So, again, that's a good part of the National League rules. Gives you some strategy. If it was DH, Magrane would still be in there, no problem. But now they're going to probably pinch hit for him. And warming up in the bullpen for the Cardinals. Well, we saw Kenta Colby this afternoon. Now we're going to see another venerable sidewinder in Dan Quisenberry. He is loosening in the Cardinal bullpen. So Dan Quisenberry will be the new pitcher for the Cardinals. We can close the book on Magrane as he will be lifted for a pinch hitter. And we've got to figure out who the pinch hitter is going to be. Off the bench for the Cardinals left-handed, they have Morris Thompson and Denny Walling. So we're looking probably Denny Walling. He's a 304 hitter and not known for his defense. So Denny Walling will be pinch hitting for the pitcher, Magrane. But it's going to be Jones and then Walling and then Coleman here in the top of the 7th against the Doctor. Jones is actually 1 for 1. He's walked and singled. 31, and that's going to be a single again on Dwight Gooden, even though it's he's a pitcher. That 31 gets him, and Jones is there. Now we may wonder if would we reconsider and have him bunt and stay in the game? But he's been pitching kind of shakily, so I think they're going to go ahead and keep Denny Walling as a potential chance to add on to that other than just a sacrifice, maybe pile on a couple of hits. So Denny Walling is your pinch hitter, 304 on the season. He's got Jones at first and nobody out. All right, here we go. 32 for Walling is a blank. Gooden, it's a out, and it's going to be a fly to left field. So 1 away as Walling is retired. His pinch hitting job failed. Brings up Vince Coleman. 32 again. It's another out. And it's a fly to right this time for out number 2. 2 down. And that'll send up Willie McGee. McGee had a double and scored his last time up. And he does it with a 6. That's the second time in a row he's rolled a 66. That's a double. Tim Jones might score. Let's see what it says here on the double. First at home scores if a weak arm in center field. So the center fielder is Mookie Wilson. Does Mookie Wilson have a weak arm? Mookie Wilson has a weak arm. W0. He's got a weak arm. So that will score Tim Jones, and the Cardinals have reclaimed the lead 4-3 on the Doctor. A two-out double from Willie McGee, as McGee has gotten to the Doctor twice. He has taken to the Doctor twice, and these little running things are sticking to the board. I took the little plastic sleeve off the board because the glare was so bad, but it causes these things to stick, so got to give up something to get something, I guess. All right, so McGee with an RBI, a two-out double, and the Cardinals lead it 4-3. Second double of the game for Willie McGee. Second time he's rolled that 66. Very Appa-like. Here's Pendleton, as Gooden's going to bat second next inning. They want to get him through the inning. 55, and that's a 1-8 double, but that's a 15 for a single. Let's see if the run can score. Single, runner on second. All score with two outs, so McGee is going to score on the single by Pendleton. All of a sudden, it's 5-3, and maybe Gooden can't make it out of the inning. What do you think, Mr. RJL? Do we pull Gooden, or do we let him try to get out of the mess? He's going to be facing Pedro Guerrero with Pendleton at first. I think since Pendleton's not in scoring position, we're going to go ahead and let him pitch to Pendleton. Yo, you say yank him. Yank him. Okay. Well, we're going to have to do, if we're going to yank him, then we probably need to do a double switch, unless you want to bring somebody in for just a couple of batters, one batter, which you could do. You could bring in Don Ossie or Terry Leach or whoever. So, all right, so on the exotic error, so we got, if we flip an exotic error, we check and see if it's an error. I'm not sure what you mean by qualifier for that. Are we checking his error rating based on the D20? And if he passes that, we don't go to the exotic error chart? Is that kind of what we're going with? I'm trying to learn, so I will definitely, yes, okay, all right. So my bad, I did not know that. I thought you went straight to the exotic error chart, so now I know. Check the D20 against the error rating, and if it's a possible error, then we go to the exotic error chart. Thank you, Matt, and thank you, Doug, or Dan, rather, for catching that. Hello, DJ. How you doing? All right, so RJL, let's see here. Hey, Arnold, good deal. As I thought, rigged. All right. Well, if it's rigged, who do you want to? You want me to make the pitching change for somebody else, or do you want to bring in? Who do you want to bring in? You got Don Ossie, Rick Aguilera, Rick Leach, or Terry Leach, or Roger McDowell from the right-hand side to face Guerrero. So I can, but they're only going to face one batter unless we double switch. So, and I know how much you disdain double switches. If a double switch during a Met game, you might have a coronary. So my thought is to bring in Don Ossie for one batter. Oh, you bring in Leach. Okay. We're going to bring in Terry Leach. And we need to figure out what kind of bullpen session Terry Leach is going to have. So we'll check him out. 2, he's an A pitcher. So Terry Leach will be on his A game to face Mr. Guerrero. 5-3 Cardinals. All this happening with 2 outs. So Guerrero will be facing, I got Gooden in the wrong spot. What am I doing over here? It's supposed to be Leach over here. Gooden's the one that got out of there. Okay, I'll get it right in a minute. Terry Leach is going to be facing Guerrero. We don't have a Cardinal pitcher yet because it's not their time. So Leach, 54. We're going to the 54 chart. So I'm going to, since that's face up, I'm going to flip this and use this one. So we're going to 54 with runner on base. Men on base, 54. Wild pitch or pass ball. Refer to pitcher's wild pitch rating. If 18 falls within the range, runners advance. His wild pitch is a 0, so there is no wild pitch. So we're going to re-roll and keep it going. 32. That's a blank on Guerrero. 32 for Leach. Look at that. Now this is weird. His A grade, he gives up a double. His B and C grades are outs. That seems kind of counterintuitive to me. I don't know about that one. That seems rather strange why they would have it that way. I don't understand why he get penalized on an A grade with a double when his B and C grades are outs. That's unusual to me. But it says double, so we'll go with it. It says double. It says double, so I'm going to go with it. Double. Runner on first holds with 2 outs. It's an assist chance. So we do have to, there is no, as I learned, it is not optional. You do it unless you're playing safe, which we're not. So Pendleton will have to try to score on the assist chance. The double itself went to right field. So we're checking the assist rating of the right fielder, Strawberry. He's an A2. So if I'm reading this correctly, if we roll a 1 or a 2, the batter is out. 3 or higher, he will be safe. I'm assuming that's correct, since his assist rating is a 2. It's a 5, so to me, he scores. Hopefully that's correct. So Pendleton will score on the double by Pedro Guerrero because the assist rating was not very good from Strawberry. And Terry Leach did not get a break there. Terry Leach's card did not provide any relief. So it is now 6-3 Cardinals. And that will bring up Tom Bernansky. 61, and that's finally going to do it. That's an out. And it will be a fly out to center field to end the inning. But for the Cardinals, they pick up 3 runs. They do it on 4 base hits, no errors, and 1 left. And we go to the 7th inning stretch. It is 6-3 Cardinals now as they try to establish their authority over the Mets. And they turn it over to their bullpen. Dan Quisenberry. Quisenberry will be the new pitcher for the Cardinals. And we might see a double switch. Let's see. Quisenberry, no, he can only face 8 batters. I'm going to have him go 1 inning. So Quisenberry will just go the 1 inning, so there won't be a double switch. Quisenberry will come on to pitch. Forgot to scratch out Leach over here. All right, so we're going to have Elster, a pinch hitter for Leach. And then we're going to have Mookie Wilson. So I'm assuming RJL would like to have, as a pinch hitter, Lenny Dykstra. I'm guessing. Off of who's on the bench, left-handers, Dykstra, Magrane, Sasser, or switch hitter Mazzilli. So I'm assuming you'd like to have Dykstra as a pinch hitter. So we're going to have Kevin Elster, Lenny Dykstra, and Mookie Wilson. So that's what we're going to have. Quisenberry, his side session is a 12, which means he's on his B grade. So normal B grades for Quisenberry against Kevin Elster and the pinch hitter Dykstra, followed by Wilson. Quisenberry, 55. That's a 1-12 double. That's a 16, though, so it's only going to be a single, but it's still a single nonetheless. Leadoff single for Elster. He's actually 2 for 3, single and a double. And now the pinch hitter, Lenny Dykstra, is up. And the Mets looking to get right back in this game against Mr. Quisenberry. 25, that is an out on Dykstra. And the out will be a ground ball to second. The runner at first, runner advances. So it's a 4-3 ground out. The only play by Tim Jones was to throw to first. So the runner Elster does advance with 1 out. Dykstra's day is done. So we go to Mookie Wilson with 1 out and a runner at second. Quisenberry, another 55. These doubles are killing me. 1-2 is a double, but that's a 20, so it will be a single. Will the run score? Single, base hit to left, runner on second, weak arm advances, average or slow, risk. All right, so the hit was to left field. So left fielder is Coleman. Does he have a weak arm? Coleman might have a weak arm. Let's see. Coleman in left field. No, he's got an average arm, so that means Elster has to hold. And so Mookie Wilson is aboard. Now there's a plus there. Um, Dan, I guess I'll ask you. I'm assuming the pluses are not mandatory in game situation. They're down by 3. I would not have him steal in this case normally. So uh, unless RJL wants me to, but even if it's a 13 here, and then you're looking at Pena. Well, it'd be a 1-13, but you got to be your second out, and you'd be running yourself out of an inning. So to me, I'm calling off that steal because of the game situation. So I'll have to house rule it if necessary, but I just don't see myself running out of an inning on stealing a base or trying to steal a base. Okay, that's what I figured. I'm trying to let baseball dictate what should happen, but Mookie Wilson gets the single to move Elster to third. So runners on the corners with 1 out, and here comes Jeffries. All he's done is 3 for 3, but that was batting right-handed against Magrane. Now he's got to turn around and bat left-handed against Quisenberry. Infield is back. They'll give it the run to get a double play. 32 for Jeffries on Quisenberry. That's a double. How about that? That's a double on his B grade. 32 is a double. Double says run on first scores if weak or average arm. It's a base hit to right field. Brunansky probably has an average arm, and now he's actually got a strong arm, so he will not score from first. Elster will score from third. Wilson will have to hold at third base as Greg Jeffries is doing it. He is now 4 for 4. 3 singles and a double. This one an RBI double. Wilson will take third. So with 1 out, runners are at second and third. The tying runs are on base for Keith Hernandez. RJL's favorite player gets a chance to redeem himself. He's 0 for 3, hit into a double play and 2 strikeouts. Did you want to pinch hit for him, RJL? We could pinch hit for him if you like. Bring in Magrane or somebody. But I hate to pinch hit for a guy like Keith Hernandez. That just doesn't seem right. So, all right, Keith Hernandez against Quisenberry. Infield again is back because they want to keep that. They want to keep the beginning from happening. 32, and again, same roll. It's another double. Keith Hernandez is doubled again. Same roll, 32. It's a 2-run double, and the score is tied at 6. What was I saying about a pitching duel? Look, unbelievable. I'm rolling the same thing twice, and I get 2 doubles in a row. And boy, Mr. Quisenberry is not faring so well. In fact, he's going to get pulled. So Quisenberry will be coming out, and they're going to bring in the left-hander out of the bullpen, Ken Fixo Repair Daily. He'll be coming on and try to get out of this mess. Or is it going to be Frank DiPino? Let's see who they want to go to here. Actually, they're going to go to Frank DiPino instead. My bad. Frank DiPino, a lefty, is coming on to see what he can do to get out of this mess. Strawberry is your batter. Quisenberry pitched a third of an inning, gave up 4 hits and 3 runs so far. So obviously not a good outing for him at all. All right, Strawberry now. Oh, we got to do a bullpen session for DiPino. 18, he's on his C grades. So DiPino's on his C grades. That's not going to help him against the straw man. 65, that's a home run chance. He's a 1-14. That's a 17. So it's a fly to center field. Fly to center field for out number 2. Now, I don't know if that means that the runner on second automatically takes third on a failed home run like it does an inside pitch, or whether, I'm not sure how to play that one. I know it's an out because it was over the home run thing, but does the runner on second take third? Figuring it's deep and, it's like a warning track home, not necessarily a fly out. Oh, okay. So I thought failed home runs were always an F8. I thought the rule book told me failed home runs were always an F8. I thought I read that somewhere that failed home runs were an F8, but I'll draw a card. Not a problem. It is a ground out to short. Runner on second holds. So, all right, so we'll set up a fly to center. We'll call it a ground out to short. My bad. I could have sworn I saw something on this that said if it's a failed home run, it's a fly out the center. It's F8, but I'll have to go back and reread it, I guess. I will default to the experts because I don't know. I'm learning. All right, so Strawberry is out for out number 2. It's up to Kevin McReynolds. DePino to McReynolds. 22. That's a single plus on a 1 to 15. That's a 4. It's a single. Can Hernandez score? Base hit to left field. Fast or average score. With 2 outs, everybody scores. So even Keith Hernandez and his gimpy knees can get across the plate. And McReynolds with an RBI single. And how about that? The Mets have put 4 runs up here in the 7th, and they lead it 7-6. This engine is broken. I've determined that this engine is broken. The engine is broken. The Mets should not be scoring all these runs, although they did win the real game 8-4. But this is 7-6. This is 7-6 here. Here's Gary Carter. 45, and that's going to be a out. It says G, so that means it's a guaranteed ground out. And I guess with the right-handed hitter, it's a grounder to short. And with 2 outs, it really doesn't matter. So it's an out. That's all that matters. So for the Mets, 4 runs. They're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. No errors and 1 left. So he played 7 innings at Shea Stadium, and it's the Mets 7, the Cardinals 6. Looking more like a Giants-Cardinals football game. 7-6. And DePino wasn't necessarily the answer either, apparently. All right, due up for the Mets, we need a new pitcher. And for the Cardinals, it's Oquendo, switch, Tony Pena right, Tim Jones left. So, Mr. RJL, do we go to Roger McDowell for a 6-out save? Or maybe go to Randy Myers after that? I don't know. I'm guessing you want me to go to Roger McDowell, not Don Ossie. So, but I'll get your feedback on that. McDowell only had 4 saves, so I guess Randy Myers was technically the closer. He had 24. So Roger can be the setup guy, I guess. That's how we'll play it. Roger McDowell is the setup guy. Now let's see. We're not going to double switch because we're going to pinch hit for him in the 8th inning anyway and bring in Randy Myers. So no double switch is needed. We will do the bullpen session for Roger. It's an 8, so he's on his B grades. Roger McDowell on the B grades. B grades, rather. And he's going to face Oquendo, Pena, and Jones, but we could have some pinch hitting. Milt Thompson could very well hit for Jones. We shall see. Oquendo will lead it off, though. 11, that's a walk. So a leadoff walk to Jose Oquendo. And back come the Cardinals. This was nothing like my game this afternoon. It was more of a pitching duel. This is just frenetic stuff here. So it happens to go live, I guess. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's why I read it, Dan. I know I read something about a fly ball to center field. Okay, glad I got that straight. Because if I was recording this, I would have called it a fly out to center, and been done with it, and wouldn't have thought about doing the other thing. So always little idiosyncrasies I just have to learn over time, I guess. Okay, so McDowell facing Pena with Oquendo at first. 22, that's a single on a 1 to 12. That's a 9. It is a 12. Let's see if Oquendo can make third base. The single goes to center field. First to third, hold if 1 out assist, but there's not 1 out. So Oquendo will hold as Wilson gets it back in. But the single from Tony Pena, and all of a sudden McDowell has given up the first 2 hits to start the inning. Tim Jones actually a 293 hitter, so I'm going to let him hit. I'm going to go ahead and let him hit. Actually, he might bunt. I'm actually going to let him bunt. He's a 5 bunter. So we're going to play the bunt again. That's a 1, so it's going to go back to the pitcher. But that's a 6. All right, so let's get back to the bunt chart here. The 6 means... Let me get my bunt chart out. If we roll a 6, it's popped up. Roll again if 2 dice. Let's see. It says here, according to this, I'm reading what it says here on the chart. According to this, if second roll is 6, it's popped up. Roll again. If two dice total 2, 11, or 12, then lead runner also out on a double play. So if I'm going to roll again on 2d6s, and if I get a 2, 11, or 12, it's a double play. Otherwise, it's just a pop-up to the pitcher, and everybody holds. So I'm guessing that's the way I'm playing it. That's the way I'm thinking it should be played. So we're trying to avoid, if you're the Cardinals, you're trying to avoid a 2, 11, or 12. That's an 11, so that's a double play. If I read that correctly, Dan, that's a double play because that's an 11. Now, who gets doubled off is the question. Is it double off? Lead runner is doubled off. So Kendo is doubled off. So how about that? I tried to bunt, and boy, did that backfire. Dwight Gooden all over it. So that's going to go as a, let's see how they're going to score this. That's going to go as a pop-up to the pitcher, and then a 1-6 double play. And boy, just like that, there's 2 quick outs. And now we need a pinch hitter for DePino with Roger McDowell in the game. And let's see if they're going to get the pinch hit. And it's going to be Milt Thompson's going to pinch hit. Lefty. Milt Thompson will get the call to pinch hit. And Roger McDowell trying to set it up for Randy Myers. 46, that's the ballpark card. I think it's the first time I've gone to the ballpark card all night. He is a lefty hitter. That is a 6. Lefty 6 is a foul ball. So we're going to roll again. He gets another chance, another swing. So Thompson gets another crack at it. 62, and McDowell's on his B grade. That's a wild pitch, but then it's going to be an out. So Pena will move to second on the wild pitch, but Thompson's going to be out, and it's going to be a ground ball to second to end the inning. So the wild pitch does not come back to bite him. It's a 4-3 ground out as Jeffries makes the play on Thompson. The pinch hitter, and the Cardinals, thanks to that popped up bunt double play, come up empty. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Still 7-6. Favor the Mets. That's all from McDowell. He will leave for a pinch hitter. And Randy Myers will be coming in to pitch the 9th for the Mets. Right now, we got Howard Johnson, Kevin Elster, and a pinch hitter against some form of Cardinal pitcher. So we got to figure out who's going to come in and pitch for the Cardinals. Looks like they're going to go to, let's see, we got switch hitter, right-handed. So it looks to me like they're going to bring in the right-hander. They're going to bring in right-hander John Costello to pitch. So Costello will come on and pitch. Try to keep the score where it is. Definitely Myers in the 9th. Who did you want to pinch hit, RJL? Did you want Magadin, or you want Sasser or Mazzilli? If you need to know about their averages in 89, Magadin was 286, Mazzilli 183, Sasser 291. So you got your choice there. Magadin will pinch hit. All right. There you go. All right. And Randy Myers is loosening in the bullpen as we speak. So Howard Johnson will lead it off against Costello, but first the Costello bullpen session. 16, he's on his C grades, so maybe Hojo could take advantage of that. 24, hit by pitch on a 1, that's a 5, so he's out, and it will be a ground ball to short for out number 1. So Hojo is out, 1 away for Kevin Elster, and Magadin is on deck. 42, that is going to be a walk. So how about that? Kevin Elster drawing the 1-out walk. He's on first base. And Magadin will step in as a pinch hitter for Mr. McDowell. And how about Elster in the number 8 position? He is 2 for 3 with a double, single, and a walk. 1 run driven in and 1 run scored. It's pretty good for a number 8 hitter. But now we have Magrane. Magrane is in to pinch hit against Costello. Does he have a plus on hit by pitches? He's got a +3, but I think I was out of range anyway on that because the hit by pitch on Elster was a 1-3, and so I think he adds 3 would be a 1-6, but I think I rolled like an 8 or something. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. I did forget to check that. Again, I know to do it, I just forgot to do it. But hopefully it won't affect anything. All right, but that's something over time. I guess the more I play this game, that'll come second nature to do all these checks. But right now, especially when you're recording, I heard somebody say one time when you hit the live button, your IQ goes down like I don't know how many points. Except for RJL, his IQ goes up, but everybody else's supposedly goes down. So we'll see. Here's Magrane against Costello. 16, that's an out, and it's going to be a ground ball to short. Double play, 6-4-3. Weak shortstop arm only gets the fielder's choice. We go to Oquendo's arm at shortstop. Oquendo as a shortstop. His arm is average, so it's not going to be weak. It's going to be average. It'll be a double play. 6-4-3 as Magrane grounds into the twin killing to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Mets here in the 8th. And for the Mets, that inning, they get no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the 9th. And coming on to try to close the deal will be Randy Myers. Randy Myers. Randy Myers and his 24 saves in 1989. So Randy Myers looking to close the deal in this 7-6 ball game. Back and forth the whole game. Vince Coleman will lead things off at the top of the order. Coleman, McGee, and Pendleton against Randy Myers. Bullpen session for Myers could be big. It's an 11, so he's on his B grades. So Randy Myers will be using the old B grades. And here's Vince Coleman. You got to keep him off the basings. You got to keep him off the bases. Oops. Got to keep him off the bases. 65 home run chance, but that's a -9 on his card. His home run is only a 1-5, so that's a negative number, so no home run. But what you're telling me is I got to flip a card because it's not a fly to center. It's just an out. So it's going to be a ground ball to first. So Coleman is out. 3 unassisted by Keith Hernandez. 1 down. So Myers got a break there. That's 65, but he had a weak hitting player at the plate. Myers to McGee. 64. That's going to be a strikeout on Randy Myers' card. He puts the K on Willie McGee. He had doubled 2 times in a row. Now it's down to Terry Pendleton. Last chance for the Cardinals. Will there be any ninth inning magic for the Cardinals? Myers. 14. That's an out. That's going to do it. The out will be a ground ball right back to Myers. Flips to Hernandez, and there's your ball game. The Mets win it by the score of 7-6. 7-6 your final. Mets win it here at Shea on opening day, 7-6. And I'll fill out the totals for you as I look at my score sheet. I believe there was an E7 on McReynolds. The only error of the game was on the Mets, if I'm not mistaken. All right, let's look at hits. We've got for the Cardinals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hits for the Cardinals. 6 runs, 11 hits, and no errors. Left on base, they had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got them for 6 left on base. For the Mets, they had 1, 2, 5, 8, 13 hits for the Mets. So I've got them unofficially. And left on base, 1, 2, 4, 5 left on base. That's what I have unofficially. I'm trying to figure out who the winning pitcher should be, because on my score sheet I wasn't really keeping track of pitchers like I should have been. So I've got to figure out. Who the winning pitcher was on this game. Let's see. Well, the losing pitcher, I'm pretty sure, was Mr. Quisenberry, because they dinged him up pretty good there in the 7th. So Quisenberry is going to take the loss. I believe Terry Leach actually gets the win, if I'm not mistaken, because he was in there pitching. He gave up those runs in the 7th, but they bailed him out by scoring 4 in the bottom of the 7th. So, if I'm not mistaken, Leach gets the win, although he didn't deserve it. And Quisenberry takes the loss, with Randy Myers getting the save. Special thanks to you, Dan, and others for pointing out when I need to look at something or reminder about something. Appreciate that. Because I definitely needed it, obviously. Matt Rockwood also for pointing things out. RJL, everybody else that's in the chat, I appreciate you all coming by and watching. But I figured doing this live, I learned better. Well, how did this get in there? I learned better, I think, by getting instant feedback rather than questioning and wondering whether I did anything wrong or not. Lesson learned from this, I'm going to print out the out charts. Dana, thank you very much. Appreciate it. I appreciate your watching. Hopefully it was entertaining. I don't know. It was a fun game. It was a wild game. A lot of stuff going on. I learned a few more things, obviously. I learned about the failed home runs are not automatically a fly ball to center. And I learned about if a pitcher has a wild pitch and an out and another result, you do both. So that was good to learn that. I learned that I need to keep remembering to check the hit by pitch factors on the pitcher card to see if it affects the batter. And I learned I need to actually have the out chart printed so I can have that done when I need to go to certain things, like base running situation on successful range plays and so forth. So I know RJL was happy. His team won. Didn't look good for him there in the top of the 7th, but they came back in the bottom of the 7th with a vengeance. And actually, Kevin Elster got it all started with a single. And then after Dykstra grounded out, Wilson singled, Jeffries doubled, Hernandez doubled, and then 1 out later, McReynolds singled to provide all the runs that the Mets would need. And they win it on opening day by the score of 7-6. This will be a fun one to put into Digital Diamond, the score sheet. Might take me a while to do it, but I am going to do it. I've got Digital Diamond. I don't have 89 in Strat and Replay doesn't offer it. So I do have it in Digital Diamond, so I will be doing that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this 89, if I'm any kind of replay. I'm just kind of using it right now to learn the game. So whether very doubtful I'd do any kind of a serious replay on this. Maybe a pitcher replay at best. But I'd have fun doing some of the opening day games. Next opening day game, or I guess the last opening day game I want to do on opening day to try to learn some more. And I'm not sure when I'm going to do it, but I'll do it eventually. It'll be the Oakland A's and the Seattle Mariners. Mark Langston against the right-hander Dave Stewart. So hopefully we get better pitching when you got Langston and Stewart, but you never know. Jose Canseco doesn't come to the A's until like June or July, so he's out there for a while. So they're going to get by without him. And Ricky Henderson is still on the Yankees at this point to start the season, so they don't have Ricky Henderson either. They've got Dave Henderson, Lansford, McGuire, and Steinbach and Parker, but they're having to use Tony Phillips, Glenn Hubbard, Stan Javier, and Walt Weiss. and Felix Jose and Luis Polonia. So they're not the A's of the World Series. They're kind of, that's how they start the season. Yes, Strat Super Advance will be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be doing a lot of practice before I get to that actual video, the slow playthrough. So I'm going to take my time and make sure I've got all, in learning all these other games, I don't want to forget about Strat, and the rules on Strat. So definitely need to get that done. But this, I'm telling you, um, when I first saw this game, and ID Jester and some other people, Kurt Berglund and Tony, and some other ones, Anthony was another one that really was strong on this game. I was shaking my head the whole time. I said, "There's no way in the world I'm going to play this game. It looks too stupid. It looks too much like APA. There's not enough splits. There's this. There's that." But then I kept watching videos of those guys over and over, and just seeing all the little idiosyncrasies that come up, and it's all these things that I have to forget that I'm forgetting to check now, but maybe a month from now it'll be second nature. So, but it's those kind of things that makes the game fun. I mean, Strat is fun, yes. Inside pitch is fun, yes. But it could be a little redundant after a while. You get to see the same things over and over. So maybe it's just like I said, the new car smell hasn't worn off yet. So I probably will at some point. I am going to be learning a second game. I'm not going to say what that game is, but I am going to be learning a second game probably next week or two. And I'll be after I play a few more of these, I'll have that out, and that'll be my goal for learning two new games because ID Jester challenged me to do goals in 2024, and one of my goals is to learn two new games. This is game number one. The other one will be coming up probably in a week or so. I'm not going to say what game it is. It's not from ASG, so it's not Field Day or anything like that. It's a different type of game. But I'll see how that goes. But it looks intriguing, so I want to try it and see how it goes, and we'll see, if I like it or not, or if I, how I want to do it. But I just figured I need some variety. I mean, I keep playing inside pitch, payoff pitch, and replay has been the last three things on the. Oh, he's right. You've been there. Have you been like just quietly in the corner, ID, or did you just join us? I know your sister wasn't. Oh, your daughter was in town. Um, so I thought you might be busy or whatever, but I had some good helpers in the chat, so that helped me get through some of my issues of not knowing certain things or forgetting certain things. So the only thing bad about this game is the Mets won. That was the bad part. Uh, Dana, I'm definitely gonna play some more Fall Classic games because I haven't learned it yet. I'm gonna keep playing this until I get things to where I'm pretty much down pat and just lurking. Okay, all right. Well, hope I did okay. ID. Like I said, hopefully I did okay in my presentation. Uh, and like I said, I like the cards. They're nice and big, easy to read. They're nice. They feel good in your hand. They're good quality, and they're kind of slick. Not slick, but they've got a sheen to them or something where they don't stick together. Very easy to handle. Very easy to maneuver back and forth. Um, and I just, like I said, I wanted to try to figure since the cards themselves don't have any kind of team colors or anything on them. I thought I would try to use via accoutrement some things to make it feel like I was in Shea Stadium and make it feel like I was playing the Cardinals. So we got the base runners and the lineup boards and all that stuff. Maybe a little overboard, maybe it's over the top. I don't know, but for opening day, I figured it was worth doing it. It's very easy to do, so didn't take me a lot of energy to do it, and it made the game for me personally more fun. The more accoutrements, the better for me because the one thing also I didn't really care for about Fall Classic compared to say Inside Pitch is there's no team colors. They're all identical, but that's the same with Strat. So and pretty much for payoff pitch, it's got the one little stripe on it, but that's about it. Everything else looks the same. So I guess opening day should. I don't have any bunting. That's the only thing I didn't have. I didn't have a little miniature bunting I could have put out here, but the Mets won, so I guess that made RJL's day. I don't know. Um, It was a fun game. Like I said, I'm having more fun in this game than I thought I would have. Um, like I said, it could just be because I'm in the learning stage, and so it's something brand new, the new car smell type of thing or whatever. But hopefully, even down the road from maybe 6 months to a year from now, this is still in my rotation. I'm hoping it is. But like I said, I'm going to learn a second game to match my goals. So between now and at the end of the month, I'm going to have another game I'm going to try to learn. And then once we get to March, then I'm going to focus on strat and get that ready to go for the game of the week. But still doing some of these other things in the background. So appreciate everybody who put out videos and encouraged me to get this. Yes, that's in case you missed earlier. ID. I said one of the things another goal I was going to have in 2024 is to have fun, and this is part of having fun. I'm going to be less stringent on left-right splits, be less stringent on ratings of players. I'm just going to play the game and have fun. So that's my goal, along with learning two new games. And learning the two new games is part of the having fun. So I'm thinking they go hand in hand. So I'm not going to be, going on a rant about cookie cutter cards or somebody not having a good defensive rating or whatever. I'm just going to, this is what it is. The game designer rated it this way. So I'm just going to live with it and enjoy the game out of the box as is, without doing, any kind of home brewing or whatever. I'm just going to play it. Like they say in golf, play it as it lies. So that's what I'm going to do. Yep, it took our chat ID. I think maybe you something registered in me when we were talking about uh, trying to trying to learn new things, and like I don't know if you were here earlier when I was talking about the Matrix, when the famous line in the Matrix where he told the guy, "Free your mind." That's what I was trying to do, is free my mind. So hopefully I can do this and just add more games to the channel, so that way you know it doesn't get stale. I can play different things and different games and whatnot, and that way it just adds more to the repertoire, as they say. Now, of course, Strat and Inside Pitch are probably going to still be my favorites, but it doesn't hurt to add games like this. I don't believe that it hurts to do that, to add this to the channel. I do think I like this setup better than using that board that I use for Inside Pitch, because the cards are just a little bit too big and it's harder to fit those on those boards. This seems to work out okay. And I use my little base runners for base running, so I can see so you can see who's where, and instead of having to put the cards on the base paths. So hopefully that does all right. But I do like the way the game plays. I like a lot of the little idiosyncrasies that you check and things that come up. Like I was saying earlier, it's weird that on the A, one of the cards, the A was a double and the B and the C were out. So that was kind of backwards to me, but. Yeah, Dan. I mean, I'm going to play the game as like I do when I do History Maker Baseball or Strat Basic. I'm going to play the game as if left right splits were pretty much any and everything. So I'm going to play it the way I think the manager would have played it, and that's playing the percentages. You're at least going to get it on the 26. So one thing this has on splits uh, over Inside Pitch is Inside Pitch has the cookie cutter card. So when I had that card from the Orioles for Larry Sheets, in the Inside Pitch, there's no difference at all facing a lefty or righty. At least on this game, if he rolls a 25 or 26 and he's facing a left-hander, he's out. Whereas 25 or 26 here, he gets a hit. So this game, in some aspects, has better splits than Inside Pitch on certain players, platoon players. Now, obviously not robust, and there's no splits on the pitcher card. The only splits on the pitcher card is like when they're trying to hold the runner on whether he's right-handed or left-handed. Absolutely, a 26 can definitely make the difference on the pinch hitting. I think did a pitcher get a hit? I'm trying to remember if somebody got a hit late on the 26. Might have been the other game I was thinking about. But anyway, yeah, that 26 always is lurking there. It's just like in History Maker Baseball. If I don't play the left-right split, if I ignore it, then sure enough, I'm going to roll a 3-5-6. It just the way Murphy's Law is. It just happens. So Like I said, Dan, I especially appreciate all your feedback and input, and I do try to put it in my memory banks. But I'm old, so my memory banks are kind of weak. But yeah, I mean they do matter at some point, ID, because managers manage that way. So some guys just can't hit left-handed pitching. So if you try to use them in a game against a left-handed pitcher, that's kind of unrealistic. If they can't hit left-handed pitching, you're kind of going against the system, at least in my opinion. But anyway, like I said, I'm gonna have fun. I'm not gonna be anal about splits this year. I'm gonna try to have fun and learn new games. And maybe if I really get bold, I'll learn a third new game. But my goal is two. So if I learn more than two, that's just icing on the cake. I don't want to commit myself. Start slow, and I'm gonna learn two. So that's my thing there. Oh, that's excellent, Dan. I appreciate you taking the time to be here and coach me on this because, like I said, it's a great game, but there's a lot of things that, especially when I'm trying to do a video, it's a lot of things that I have to keep in my that are going through my head, and it could be something very simple that I just forget, or like in this case, thinking the fly ball out, the failed home run was a fly to center when it wasn't, but it was. I think it was on the ballpark card or something. You said that that's where it comes up. So, um, yep, here it is right here. That's what I was thinking of right here. This is where I got it from. It says use out code 8. That's what it got in my head. Was on this ballpark card. It says use code 8. Use code 8. That's what I was thinking of. It was the ballpark, not on the straight batter stuff. So little things like that I just have to learn, and repetition is the greatest form of learning, I think. Repeat, repeat, rinse and repeat, and just keep going. Yep, I mean definitely can. It's what do I say at the end of each video? I mean, play the game you like to play the way you like to play it. Um, I I'm going to try to play it as much as I can by the rules as they're written. But if something really gets out there and I feel like I want to, it'd be more fun or more advantageous to go the other way, I'll do that. Like Anthony, when the player has a plus, he still does the jump. So, what did you decide to do about the double plays? Well, I learned. I mean, the X thing there. When I first saw it, I thought it was an automatic double play with the runner on first. But you still have to flip a card, and if it's a ground ball, then it's a double play. But if it's a fly ball, you don't have to worry about it. So that part I got resolved. So, and I learned that on the defensive, I got to print out the out charts from the rule book because that's going to tell me on these range plays and error checks that are successful with runners on base who gets out and who gets where. It's not flipping a card or anything. I got to go to those charts, and so I have to print those out as well. The same way that I printed out the exotic error chart today as well. So, like I said, it's a work in progress, but it's fun work in progress. I'm having a lot of fun. Um, so hopefully you guys are getting that vibe in the video. Um, I wouldn't be doing this, but if I played this game 2 or 3 times and hated it, I wouldn't keep playing it. So I want to keep playing it. And if it comes a time where it just doesn't do it for me anymore, then I'll put it away. But right now, I'm gonna keep playing it because I want to learn it. I want to get down pat, and I want to see 89 is one of my favorite seasons. So I want to play some more games from different teams. I want to try to play at least one game with every team. Maybe I'll play the opening day games for everybody just to give me a good sample of size of games played. So next game is Seattle and Oakland. Don't know when that'll be. Don't know if it'll be recorded or live or what date that will be. I'm not sure. Around Super Bowl time, so I've got a lot of stuff going on this weekend. So I may or may not do anything this weekend. I'm not sure. But there's always next week, depending on what's going on. This is probably the first day I've ever done 2 videos in one day, which is really weird. I've never done that before because I don't want to be oversaturating the channel with videos and all in one day. But when RJL told me he was going to be off for the All-Star break, I said, oh, it's a good chance to go ahead and try this live and get some feedback and try to figure out what I was doing wrong. And so hopefully, except for a few tweaks, hopefully everything went smoothly as could be. But back to the game itself, the Mets win it 7-6. Player of the game, I've got to give it to Greg Jeffries. He was 4 for 4, so I don't know how you give it to anybody else. Greg Jeffries, 4 for 4, 3 singles, a double, 2 runs scored, and 1 driven in. So to me, he's your player of the game, Greg Jeffries. He is the player of the game as the Mets defeat the Cardinals 7-6 here on opening day and make Davey Johnson a happy man and make RJL a happy man. All right, everybody, it's getting a little bit late. I'm getting to where I need to do some other things to get ready for the weekend. So I do appreciate everybody that tuned in. Whether you chatted or not, that's irrelevant. You're doing another one. Is that the one where RJL says more crap or something like that every time you unbox something? You know, ID, if you didn't buy so many games, you'd have money to buy your own, to make your own game company. And then you could charge people out the yin yang like Strat and Ampa and make buku money and laugh all the way to the bank. So I thought about ordering from Stratomatic opening day, but I decided to not do that. I just bought the computer game in December for the 2022 season. So I've got that. So there's really nothing, there's really no reason for me to order anything new. 1984, I've already got that season in Stratomatic on the original 84 cards. Plus I've got it in inside pitch and payoff pitch. So I really don't need 84 in Strat either. So I didn't really see any reason to order anything from Strat this year. So I'm using the money I would have spent with Strat to buy some other games. This one plus the other one I want to try. So that's what I'm doing with that. I got so much Strat now I can keep playing for a while before I get tired. I don't have to buy new stuff. Had they come out with a season I really, really wanted, like maybe, let's say, what's a good season they could come out with? Oh, maybe 1975. Maybe 1983. Maybe 1978. That would be a good one too. So, but 84 just didn't do it for me. For people who wanted the 84, more power to them. Happy for them. I've already got it on, like I said, on the original cards, the white and blue cards from 84. Bought those a while back from Moonlight Graham, so I've got those. So don't need 84 from Strat. And 2023 doesn't really interest me too much. If I want to play that, I'll play it on a computer or something, but I don't need that 2023. The 2023 2 was enough to make me quit playing payoff pitch for a while because of all the strikeouts and stuff. And it's probably just as bad in 23 as it was in 22. So my wheelhouse is in the 70s and 80s, so that's where I prefer to stay. All right, guys. Appreciate you spending starting your weekend with me and watching me plunder through this game. And for those that gave me ruling decisions, I certainly appreciate that. And for everybody else that watches, I appreciate you watching as well. If you can give a like, that would be great. I'm not one to come on here and ask for subscriptions or likes or whatever, but if you give a like, then maybe that puts it out there more for more people to see Fall Classic, and maybe it gets put on this search engine more for YouTube, and maybe get more exposure for this game and get more people to try to, maybe try it out. It's free to try it out in the PDF, so it doesn't cost you anything to try it. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.